Before Kuwait was rich, it was ruthless. No oil, no safety nets, no guarantees, just heat, scarcity, and survival. In the early 1700s, the Al-Sabah family didn't seize power. They were invited into it, not as kings, but as leaders chosen by consensus. That alone made them different. They weren't conquerors. They didn't rule through fear. They ruled through something far more durable: trust. The Al-Sabah understood early what most dynasties never do. Power taken by force is fragile. Power granted by people is resilient. They built alliances instead of armies, protected merchants instead of taxing them dry, stabilized tribes instead of provoking them, and quietly, deliberately, they positioned Kuwait as a strategic port between East and West. This wasn't luck. This was long-term thinking. And that mindset would later determine everything. Here's the difference between new money and old money. New money asks, how do I show my wealth? Old money asks, how do I protect it for the next century? The Al-Sabah family never behaved like celebrities. They behaved like custodians. No loud displays, no obsession with image, no need to prove anything. Because in old money culture, attention is exposure, and exposure is risk. Long before social media made privacy fashionable again, the Al-Sabah understood a brutal truth. Visibility attracts envy. Envy attracts instability. So their wealth was never about consumption. It was about control. Then oil was discovered, and history changed overnight. For most countries, oil is a curse. Sudden wealth leads to corruption. Greed replaces governance. Institutions collapse under pressure. Kuwait didn't fall into that trap. Why? Because the Al-Sabah family had already built a system before the money arrived. They didn't panic. They didn't splurge. They didn't privatize the future. Instead, they structured oil wealth as national leverage, not personal loot. A system where the state remains strong, citizens are protected, wealth survives future generations. This wasn't charity, this was strategy. Oil was never the power, oil was the instrument. While other nations were busy spending oil money, Kuwait was quietly investing it. The Kuwait Investment Authority, one of the world's oldest sovereign wealth funds, began acquiring global real estate, major financial institutions, strategic assets across continents. No press tours, no flashy announcements, just patience, just positioning. Even today, much of Kuwait's true wealth remains deliberately opaque, because real power doesn't need transparency for applause. It needs silence for protection. Let's be clear. Yes, the Al-Sabah family has access to unimaginable luxury, palaces, private aircraft, elite properties around the world. But you rarely see it. Why? Because old money luxury is invisible by design. They don't build identity around possessions. They build identity around continuity. Their most valuable asset isn't oil. It isn't land. It isn't even capital. It's the same family governing the same nation across generations. That kind of luxury doesn't depreciate. In the modern world, attention is currency, but attention also creates targets. The Al-Sabah family chose a different route. They operate behind institutions, diplomacy, systems, not personalities. They don't need to trend. They don't need approval. They don't need validation. Because their authority isn't emotional, it's structural. And structures last longer than spotlights. Kuwait is small on a map, but its influence extends far beyond its borders. In diplomacy, in energy markets, in humanitarian mediation, the Al-Sabah positioned Kuwait as neutral, strategic, Reliable, no empire building, no domination, just leverage. This is power refined to its purest form. The Al-Sabah legacy reveals 5 rules. Old money families live by. Visibility is optional. Influence beats attention. Institutions outlive individuals. Wealth is stewardship, not a trophy. Silence protects power. These principles explain why some dynasties endure for centuries, while louder ones collapse under their own noise. The world is shifting. Algorithms reward chaos. Markets reward speed. Culture rewards excess. But old money doesn't adapt quickly. It adapts correctly. The Al-Sabah family continues preparing for a future that won't trend, but will arrive, because trends expire, legacy compounds. So, here's the real question. Would you rather be rich and famous, or powerful and forgotten? The Al-Sabah family chose silence over spotlight, and in doing so, they built one of the most enduring dynasties of the modern era. This isn't luxury you can photograph. This is luxury you inherit. And this story is only one example of how old money families truly rule the world. Please like this video if you find it compelling, and don't forget to subscribe.